Part 2 of how I became pregnant at the age of 16 by a married narcissist man.
Okay, so what's up, y'all? It's Moye. I know y'all been waiting for me to come on here with part 2 of my story time of how I became pregnant by a narcissist that was married. I know it took me so long to get back on here and finish part 2, and I kept saying I'm gonna tell part 2 of the story. The story probably gonna be so freaking long because the story is long, and the whole point of me wanting to tell the story is for awareness. And I'm sure people have been through situations I've been through before, and I also wanted to just tell the story just to tell it, because a lot of people don't know what I've been through in my life, and they just see what I bring like in front of them, and it's like it's hard to like deal with someone if you don't know their story, you know. So I'm so versatile that I can just blend in with anybody, anywhere, any job, like things like that. But at the same time, it's like in the back of my head, it's so much always going on, and it seems like I've been on autopilot running on autopilot my entire life. So I had to go back to the last video I made to see what was I even talking about in that video, to continue telling this story time about my baby daddy or whatever, and the situation at hand. And the only reason I want to tell this story is because I need something to go back and look at, you know, myself, because I'm going to do a documentary about my life soon in a movie form also. So people that follow me, listen to my music and stuff like that, can know me a little bit more better. And I've never really been like a person to tell my business to people, like on social media. I'm very private in my life. Even though I'm so spontaneous and super like outgoing, I never was the type of person to tell my business to social media. People will never know what I'm going through in real life, you know. And it's time I just want to get heard, because I've been through so much, and I swear a lot of my stories can probably save somebody's life, you know. So I went back to the last video and seen where I left off at in my story time. And okay, so I believe a couple months had went past after I was pregnant with my child's father's baby or whatever. So you know what, I was ripping around the streets so much when I was that young, I didn't even realize that I was pregnant, to be honest. And my friends used to be everywhere. We thought we were so grown. I swear. We used to be all in Detroit. All my friends had license. And I didn't even realize I was pregnant. Like, I'm not thinking about no period, nothing in my head. I'm thinking maybe I'm stressed out probably. Not realizing that I'm really pregnant. I'm getting high. I'm getting drinking. You know, I'm young. I'm having fun. Enjoying my life. I'm like 16, 17 years old around this time. So one day I was talking to my friend Chelsea, a friend I knew for a long time since I was like 14, Chelsea Sylvester. And we was in her car, I remember like it was just today. And I think Chelsea was already pregnant. Our babies are like real close in age. Our oldest children are really close in age. Because I think she was like 2 months pregnant or something, or she already had her baby or something like that. But Chelsea's a really good friend of mine. I was telling her what I was going through, like what I was experiencing and the side effects I was having and stuff like that. I'm like, I feel like I feel flutters in my stomach. But this time I think I was like, a few months went past. I was probably like 5 months pregnant. I didn't even tell my mama, nobody in my household. The only people knew was my friends. And I think around the time I was staying with my friend Squatty's grandma, because I didn't want my mama to start saying I was showing or something. I don't know, something like that. It's like kind of, my memory is kind of foggy about what happened, but I know the most part and the most majority of what I'm trying to say. It's kind of hard for me to speak and say things that's in my head sometimes. It's so much easier for me to write down on paper. That's another reason why I don't really like, telling story time. But as I go on, I'm sure I'll get better at narrating things. I'm not slow at all. I just talk really, really fast. And sometimes I get my words twisted up and I talk too fast and my words get twisted up. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Sometimes it just don't come out right. What I'm trying to say. But if I was to write it, it'd come out way better, which is weird. I don't know. But talking fast running my family, so I even try to slow down so y'all can hear what I'm saying, you know. But it's just like I just talk fast and, you know, whatever. So, anyway, Chelsea was, we was sitting in the car shit, and I think we was smoking a blunt. And I'm telling her, like, Chelsea, you know, something ain't right. Like, I think I might be pregnant, but I don't think I am, for real. Like, because I just couldn't believe it. I probably was in denial. I was so young, just didn't, it was just like, what? No way, so I'm pregnant. I heard fucking like a motherfucker, but thinking to myself I'm not pregnant. Right. So, Chelsea was like, girl, she was like, I'm gonna take you to the Taylor Teen Clinic. That's when I stayed in Romulus, whatever, and they had like a clinic down that way, and you can just go up there. You can be young as fuck. You go there yourself and get tested or whatever for STDs. You can get tested to see if you're pregnant. You know, you can go get checkups, stuff like that. Go up there, get condoms, and all you have to do is be a teenager. You can go there by yourself. And so Chelsea had a car at the time, and she was like, I'm gonna take you up there or whatever, because it sounds like to me you pregnant. I'm like, you sure? She like, yes, bitch, you sound like you pregnant. She was like, you got to figure out what's going on before you get too far along. And I love Chelsea for that. She didn't have to do that. And she was so young with a good heart, but she was so mature-minded. Chelsea was always mature-minded. Y'all know who Chelsea is, so y'all know who I'm talking about. And she can get on her vouch for herself. And she remember what happened. So she took me to the Taylor Teen Clinic or whatever. And I go in there. I'm so nervous and scared. I'm thinking ain't nothing going on. I wasn't even showing nothing. So I get to the back. They test me or whatever. And they come back in the room. They was like, we just want to let you know that you're 6 months pregnant. And this is what your baby look like. I said 6 months. Ain't no way I'm fucking 6 months pregnant. You say, yes, you are, ma'am. Or whatever. So they said, we want to show you a picture of how big a baby is. So they opened the little pamphlet they brought in the room to show me. I said, ain't no my baby that fucking big. And they was like, yes, your baby is this fucking big. So I'm like, wow. So I'm thinking, so they came in, brought me a folder, everything. They said, we're going to make sure we test you for STD, stuff like that. Here go your folder with information in there about what to do after this or whatever. And they put it in a black folder. Remember like it was yesterday. It was a black folder. I called Chelsea, told her to come pick me up. I think I got in the car with her, told her I was pregnant. And she was like, see, told you, bitch, or whatever we talked about on the way back to Sky Harbor, I believe. Romulus, because the clinic was in Taylor. We stayed in Romulus, yeah. Oh, wait. Or maybe I think she had an apartment. Yeah, we stayed in Romulus. So, but Chelsea was young with an apartment. We always young with our own apartment. So, she took me back to my crib. So, I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to go through this door at home with this big-ass pamphlet in my fucking hand, and I'm 17 years old. My mom don't even know I'm pregnant, or furthermore, that I'm fucking a nigga that's like 24 years old. You feel me? I've been fucking him since I was 14. So, I put the folder in the back of my pants, like, and pull my shirt over it. I walked in the house. I'm in the bitch so fucking nervous, bro. Didn't know what to say. So I'm like, damn. So I'm like, I'm gonna just wait till in the morning before I get ready to go to school and let her know I'm pregnant. So I won't be stuck in the house in her face, and then she started nutting up and shit. So the next morning, I put the thing and said I was pregnant in the folder. Took it in her room, sit on her dresser, and told her to open it up when I leave. Or something. I told her to open it up or something. Before I left, I told her to open it up. I had something to tell her. So she opened it up, and then I guess she read it. She said, I already knew you was pregnant. I'm like, you already knew I was fucking pregnant. What the fuck? You just let me walk around pregnant and ain't said shit. You ain't asked me or nothing. Like, what? That's another thing. My mama, like, she talked to me a little bit about, my period, stuff like that. But we never had, like, deep conversation about sex and getting pregnant or condoms, STDs, nothing like that. I kind of like fend for myself in that area. My dad, he was like really, really abusive to my mom when we was younger, so that made her leave him, and we had moved out to the suburban area, Romulus. We came from Detroit. My daddy was really, really abusive, and It was sad. Like,